Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I feel like it's been a long time since we've done one of these, but we're finally doing it again. We're back on Football Manager. We're on Football Manager 2018, and we're going to see what the game predicts for the season for the Scottish Premiership, Championship, League 1 and League 2 for the 2018-19 season. Don't worry, I've came prepared. We've got it all sorted. The database updates have been put in. We are going to be able to see everything that is updated. We've got all the transfers in. Everything is there and ready to go, and hopefully it will give us as realistic a prediction as possible. Will Steven Gerrard be able to stop 10 in a row? There he is, Steven Gerrard, new Rangers manager. His starts not great, but obviously in to try and do a job. All the transfers are there for Rangers fans. If you're wondering, you'll see Alan McGregor and such all in here as updated as to this morning. The database update is to this morning. It is realistic to this moment in time as possible. Celtic's team have got Emilio Izagiri back in there. Odson Edouard is permanently there. The first transfer window has been disabled to try and give us as realistic a season as possible, at least up till January, and we're going to see how things go. So we're going to go in stages. We're going to go up to the end of the transfer window, up to the first Old Firm, and see what that presents us with. Then we're going to go to January. We're going to see who won the Betfred Cup and such, and how things stand halfway through, and then we'll go to the end of the season and we'll see how things end up. There's a big season, a lot of teams looking to do stuff, looking to win promotion, looking to avoid relegation. Celtic looking to win 8 in a row, and Rangers looking to stop it. So let's see what will happen. Top scorer and such, we'll get a prediction for it all. And as I said, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to the first Old Firm of the season, which in this game will be played on the 16th of September. So here we go, we're going to go to the 17th of September and see how the first part of the season goes. Right, so I've made it to the 18th of September. We're now going to go and check how everyone is doing in the leagues, who's made it to European football, the big games and such. We're going to see what is happening up in the league. So here we go, Celtic top of the league at the minute. No surprise, Rangers, hello there, down in 5th, 3 losses already, including a 2-1 win to Celtic in that Old Firm game. That was a game I wanted to check, most importantly, to see how that went. And also, you see here, I've got them in the quarter-final of the Betfred Cup up next as well. But Cal McGregor scoring twice as Celtic beat them. Celtic also make it into the Champions League. They get a group stage in Group G, sorry, I was going to say C. Bayern, Shakhtar, Feyenoord, a group they could easily finish second in, and they've already got a win in the first game against Shakhtar Donetsk, which was away from home, may I add. So fantastic. They defeated Karabag, Malmo and Santa Coloma on the way there, obviously only the 3 rounds instead of 4. A solid start to the season for Celtic. No one has left the club. It shouldn't be. Yep, exactly. Solid start to the season for Celtic. No losses yet, which is good to see. Rangers, did they make it into the group stage of the Europa League? No, they did not. They were knocked out by Lech Poznan in the third qualifying round. Hibs and Aberdeen, quickly check if they made it through to Europa League group stages. Doesn't look like. Oh, Hibs weren't even in the qualifying for some reason. Okie dokie. They won the Betfred Cup. So Hibs couldn't have made it there. They weren't offered the opportunity for some reason. Sorry, Hibs fans, if you wanted to see that. Aberdeen, they in fact did not make it either. Actually, they were knocked out off of who? Stjarnan on away goals. Stjarnan of the Icelandic Premier Division. So sorry for that notification. Well, that's a disappointing tale for European football. But if we have a look at the league table, Celtic so far at the top, beating Rangers as well. Top scorer currently Jack McLaren. Nearbeton has been given man of the match twice now in the league and has got the highest average rating. How has he got back into the Celtic team? God knows. In the Championship, Inverness are currently top of the season, top of the table, with Haber being the top goal scorer. League 1, Forfeit top of the table, and that is, what's his full name there? Conor McLennan as top goal scorer of Forfeit. And then in League 2, we have Peterhead at the top of the table so far, with Chris Renton scoring 4 goals. So far, the Premiership going as expected. Celtic at the top. Dundee, though, surprisingly off to a good start. Hearts not off to so much a good start. Rangers sitting in 5th position. Let's get through to January and see a more halfway through picture rather than the first month of the season. Right, we're into January. Half the season has bypassed. We're going to check managerial changes. We're going to check quite a lot. We're going to see how the league table is generally standing, how teams have performed in Europe, and who won the Betfred Cup. Now I'm going to go through Scott Brown to access this because it's taking forever. Right, so Celtic still top of the table by 9 points. Aberdeen in second. Rangers third. Motherwell, Hibs, Dundee, St Mirren, St Johnstone, Hearts having an absolute honker. Followed by Kilmarnock, surprisingly doing shit. Hamilton and Livingston rock bottom of the table. St Mirren having a really decent season, could try and push to get into that top half. Mr Dembele right now looking as though he's the best player in the league, unsurprisingly. Top rated player on average and the top goal scorer. So managerial changes and such. Let's see, Celtic still have Brendan Rodgers in charge, just had to check in case there was any board falling outs. Derek McInnes still at Aberdeen, Gerrard still at Rangers despite being third. Stephen Robinson of course still at Motherwell for what looks a good season. Neil Lennon still at Hibs. Dundee still sticking with Neil McCann. St Mirren, Alan Stubbsy still in charge. St Johnstone still got Tommy Wright up there. Hearts surprisingly sticking with Craig Levein as their boss despite being ninth. Kilmarnock sticking with Stevie Clark. Hamilton, Martin Cannon, which means there's only one team. But John Hartson is Livingston manager, as you kind of get player managers in this, so I think he might have been manager from the start. Yep, John Hartson has been manager since the start at Livingston instead of Kenny Miller. So the Betfred Cup, how did things go in the Betfred Cup? Who took that home? Aberdeen. Celtic missing out in the treble. There's the first big bit of news coming from this season. Aberdeen and St Johnstone in the Betfred Cup final. That is, well, crazy to say the least. No Celtic in the final altogether, and no treble for Celtic. Semi-finals, is that where Celtic went out? Yep, Aberdeen knocking out Celtic. St Johnstone knocking out Morton getting to the semis. But Celtic must have knocked out Rangers, but there you go at Hampden. Aberdeen got the better of Celtic, and the treble is down the pan. Other leagues, Championship, Dundee United top by a point at the minute. Raith Rovers top of League 1, very close though between them and Airdrie for first and second. And Clyde top of League 2 ahead of Edinburgh City by 4 points. Top scorer, as you can see, as I flick through, Chris Dillon at the Championship. Celtic, how are they getting on in Europe? There's another question to be asked. Did they manage to get through the Champions League group in Group G? As we quickly go to the group stages, all groups. Group G, Celtic through to the last 16 of the Champions League, finishing on 9 points, 2 wins, beating Shakhtar twice, drew 3 times, including a 0-0 with Bayern at Celtic Park, draw with Feyenoord twice. The only loss came at the Allianz when they were defeated 3-0. Celtic making the last 16 of the Champions League for the first time since 2013. Hopefully that happens in real life. But who will they be facing in the last 16? They'll be facing Manchester City, the English champions, Pep Guardiola's side, who have yet to beat us. In fact, Pep Guardiola's Man City after 2 failed attempts. But very interesting. We're going to go to the end of January now and see if any transfers are made heading into the rest of the season, because transfer windows are now open. I don't expect much to be done after this January transfer window. I don't expect many signings to be made, but we're going to check them out. Also, there should be another old firm that's passed. I want to see if Celtic managed to beat Rangers yet again. So they beat them the first one of the season, then they beat them in the Betfred Cup as well at Celtic Park. Then they took them on at Ibrox and beat them 1-0. Olivier and Cham got the goal, and that is the next one is not till this month, in fact, February. So not too bad, right? But we're going to look through transfers quickly if anything has been done. Transfers, here we go. 100k. Emilio Izaguirre right back out. Last in, so he's first out, I suppose. Wee bit of a shame, but what can you do? Loans, Ralston's went out on loan, Miller's went out on loan, both to Ross County. Connor Hazard up there as well. A couple of recognisable names. Transfers in, they made one big money signing, £3.3 million for João Amaral from Lech Poznan. Jan Kutchov came in a free transfer, not bad. And Dennis Diekmeyer also coming in a free transfer. That's not a bad signing, actually. I quite like Dennis Diekmeyer. Coming in from Hamburg. No bad. James Forrest will be leaving Celtic. He did not sign a new contract. He will be leaving at the end of the season to join Cardiff. And Kouassi Abui, I think he might be leaving. He might be going to SKA Cabra. somewhere on loan. So that's the signings for Celtic. Aberdeen transfer history. They have made a few loan signings, a couple of free signings. Conor Randall coming in from Liverpool, a recognisable name, out on loan. A few players leaving the club as well. We'll check Rangers, see theirs. Just kind of checking the major teams, to be honest, see what the impacts. Neda Manoa coming in on a free transfer. QPR, former player. Man City, former player. You may recognise the name. On the outs, that's not Ross McCrory, actually. That's a different McCrory. I thought that was Glenn Middleton leaving on loan. Jamie Walker leaving on loan. That's not Jamie Walker I'm thinking the one that played for Hearts. But really, Glenn Middleton's only the really recognisable name there that left them. And finally, we'll check Hibs. They're the only other big team that I think transfers are going to impact. They made a few free and loan signings. A couple of bits of spending. Craig Sabaldin from Livingston, signed a boy from Man City there. Kelvin Wilson coming in a free transfer, former Celtic player in the team that beat Barcelona. And on the outs, just a few loans. Martin Boyle even to go to Dunfermline. That's the only really big transfer name there for Hibs. So not so much changing. League tables there, still the same pretty much. Hamilton have moved to bottom. Hearts are having an absolute stinker. It's time to go to the end of the season, see how Celtic finish in the Champions League, see who wins the Scottish Cup and who takes home the titles. Rangers have a job to do if they want to stop 8 in a row. The season is over. We're about to check everything that has happened. We're going to have a look over who won each title, who won the Scottish Cup, who finished top scorer here, all that stuff. We're going to see. So there's the relegation playoff. Ross County managed to stay up in the playoff final, which means Livingston have to go and play someone. There's the league table though. Celtic won the league by once again a doddle, an absolute thunderstorm of a lead against Rangers. Morelos and Dembele finished joint top scorer, but Celtic absolutely demolishing Rangers yet again, finishing a good, nearly 19 points ahead of them. A skedaddle. The only losses come to Aberdeen, the Hearts and Hibs twice. Hibs finishing 5th, just missing out European football. Motherwell making it to European football. Stephen Robinson getting a 4th place finish, with Motherwell Aberdeen finishing 3rd, but Rangers do indeed finish 2nd. Steven Gerrard, though, is gone. He's long gone. And if you have a look, he was sacked. If we have a look at history of managers, he was sacked in May, just towards the end of the season. And Fernando Hierro, former manager of Real Oviedo and assistant manager of Real Madrid, has came in to take over. Steven Gerrard, after all the buzz, after all the chants and cries of Rangers fans saying that he would be the one to stop Celtic, is gone. Aberdeen, Derek McInnes still in charge. Motherwell, it's got to be still Stephen Robinson. Stephen Robinson's still there. Hibs, Neil Lennon still got his job despite finishing 5th. Dundee getting a 6th place finish, which means Neil McCann will obviously keep his job. Tommy Wright keeping his job. Surely Craig Levine's gone. Nope, he's still there. Somehow Craig Levine keeps his job. St Mirren, fantastic job from them to finish 8th in the table. Kilmarnock keeps Stevie Clark despite a horrific season. Livingston, their job is up for grabs. Gone. Martin Cannon away and Jim McIntyre in. So a very interesting season to say the least. We'll have a look at everyone's best players in a moment. We'll quickly go through the other divisions to see what happens. Ross County and Dunfermline. Sorry, Livingston did go down, in fact. Livingston down, Dunfermline, Ross County go up. Dunfermline winning the title. Partick and Dundee stay down. Chris Dillon with 15 goals, but not enough to keep the side up. League 1, if we go to the league table, Raith Rovers and Dumbarton winning promotion to the Championship. Rory Loy and Rory Curry finishing the top scorers, 2 Rorys. And finally in League 2, Clyde and Cowden Beef winning promotion, with Chris Renton of Cowden Beef finishing as top goal scorer. Clyde winning the title by quite a landslide, 12 points. Not bad. Scottish Cup, Celtic win it on penalties, revenge on Aberdeen, which means for Celtic it is a double. But remember, they got to the last 16 of the Champions League, so all round a decent season for Celtic. I wouldn't complain this year if we were to lose out in the treble, but make the last 16 of the Champions League, I don't think we should complain too much at all. They ended up winning the Scottish Cup. The goal, we'll check who was scored by in a moment to make sure. I was through in penalties. Dembele scoring the equaliser in that game, and then a penalties win for Celtic. Champions League, last 16 against Man City, we went out 4-1 in aggregate, 2-1 at Parkhead, Aguero getting 2 goals, Lee Griffiths getting the only other goal, and Man City then beat us 2-0 over in the Etihad, which, to be honest, 2 not bad results. 4-1 could be far, far worse. Celtic last 16 and a double, not too bad. I don't think we can complain too much, but the main story is Rangers did not stop Celtic from winning 8 in a row. So if we go in depth quickly to everyone's best players throughout the season, if we go to their general info or their match stats or whatever, just to see, you know, who offered the most this season, who was the one that, you know, who was the players that helped them get to where they finished in the season. And help if I can find it. There we go. So the best average rating player for Celtic, Lee Griffiths, surprisingly 19 goals throughout the season, even though Mr. Dembele scored 27. He finishes at the top of the Celtic pile. We'll go to Aberdeen now, or we'll go to Rangers in fact. Their best player averaging Alfredo Morelos, 27 goals, 7.2 rating. Not bad at all there from Alfredo Morelos. We'll just kind of look through the top 6 probably. Aberdeen's best player, Michael Devlin, the centre half. Not too bad at all. Motherwell's, we're looking at Chris Cadden, 5 goals, 10 assists. Some decent stats there, to tell you the truth. Hibernian, quickly look at theirs. 705 is the highest rating for Effie Ambrose and Jamie McLaren. Jamie McLaren scored 14 goals throughout the season, not a bad tally to finish off on. And finally we'll have a look at Dundee, who helped them get to the top half of the table. Craig Whiten being one of the main men there with a 6.9 rating, 4 goals, 13 goals though for Jean Alassane Mendy. Not a bad season for him, and that is how it ends in Scotland. Celtic win 8 in a row, Steven Gerrard is sacked, and Aberdeen managed to win a cup. So that is the main takeaways from that. If you have enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think will happen. If any of this will happen, let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll see you all next time.